Hey, what's going on guys? Custom Rex here, and welcome back to another wonderful video on this channel. So today I'm going to be going over the Snowy 2020 event items. So if you enjoy, leave a like down below. If not, tell me in the comments why you didn't enjoy. And without further ado, let's just get into the video. So let me just tell it all here. I pretty much got nothing from the Snowy event. I'm pretty broke when it comes to Snowy stuff. I didn't get any key luck whatsoever. It was absolutely horrible. Like, look at this. I only got one snowy set, which I use as my main set. A little bit more snowy. I got some fluffy moccasins. I got the cane of all things, which is pretty useless, I'd like to say. And then I got 3 Zarlocks. Like, why do I need this many? This is useless. Man, I sure am broke. Oh, he's AFK, isn't he? I bet he wouldn't mind if I snapped a couple pictures of his items. Yeah. Ha ha ha. And that is the story of how I learned the enchantments for the Snowy 2020 items. So here, let me break them down for you. So let me start off with the Snowy Helmet, which is a Fire Protection 5, Protection 6, Unbreaking 5 diamond helmet that increases your health pool by 10% and increases your movement speed by 40%. So personally, I like any item that gives you speed too that aren't actually boots because it frees up the space for Pyrosis, which are just better sleeping. While the Snowy Helmet's pretty good, it's not out there amazing, so I'd rate it at a solid C tier. Now onto Snowy Chestplate, which is a Depth Strider 3, Protection 6, Unbreaking 5 chestplate that increases your health pool by 10% and gives you resistance to slowness. The Snowy Chestplate is pretty decent, not gonna lie. So the Depth Strider is nice. You know me, I hate slow swimming, so anything that has Depth Strider on it, I will definitely take a million times over. But then also, on top of that, the resistance to slowness is really good because a lot of people use the Sicario or the Infirmity, which both give slowness. Overall, a really decent chestplate, not the absolute greatest, but you know, things have to be balanced. I'd put it in B tier. The Snowy Leggings are Projectile Protection 10, Protection 6, Unbreaking 5, Diamond Leggings that increase your health pool by 20% and increase your strength. So once again the theme stays true of the random enchantments in places that you wouldn't expect them to be in. So the projectile protection on these leggings is absolutely wonderful. So it basically screws over bow people even more than the chestplate does. It makes it to where their arrows won't really do any damage whatsoever, or at least no measurable damage. And on top of that, the fact that these leggings increase your strength allow for you to wear the Tectonic Guard instead of the Ferosa, which is just meant to be a tankier version, but everyone wears Ferosa because it increases your strength by a good amount more than the Tectonic Guard. But with these leggings, you can just wear the Tectonic Guard and be completely fine, thus giving yourself more armor for absolutely no drawback. And that's why these leggings are also in B tier. So as for the boots, they are Frostwalker 2, Protection 6, Unbreaking 5 diamond boots that increase your health pool by 10% and reduce incoming damage by 20%. So these boots, they're actually pretty bad. So I only really see them being worn for the reduction to incoming damage, but that's only 20%. It's not really like groundbreaking. There's a lot of items that give you 20% damage reduction. Overall, these just aren't that good. Also, I guess the Frostwalker is something, but you know, who likes Frostwalker over Depth Strider? Boo! E tier. So not only did this event have a full Diamond God set, but it also had a full Lever and Elytra God set. The first of those items is the Eternal Reef, which is a Fire Protection 5, Mending Projectile Protection 5, Protection 5, Unbreaking 10 lever helmet that increases your health pool by 30%, shoots snowballs at your enemies, and is ultra durable. And right here you can see Mr. Goat 111 firing snowballs using his Eternal Reef helmet. Basically, it uses XP to fire snowballs. You don't need to actually have those snowballs in your inventory. You just Right click and it'll fire a snowball. So this helmet, it is absolutely useless. But it's also fun, so I'm gonna give it a C rating. The Ice Queen's wings, while looking absolutely baller with this festive trail that they give off, are a Unbreaking 4 mending pair of elytra that increase your attack speed by 40% and increase your health pool by 50%. I don't think I'm being controversial at all when I put these wings in A tier. Not only are they functional, but they are also flashy. I enjoy the particle effect, it's very seasonal, and also on top of that, I don't see the item dropping in price anytime soon. So yeah, that's why I gave it an A tier. The Festive Pjs are Mending, Protection 10, Unbreaking 10 leather pants that give you godlike regeneration. So the closest thing that I could relate these pants to would be the Mystic Cowl, which is similar except for it's a helmet. That being said, nobody uses Mystic Cowl. Literally nobody. Okay, I take it back. I asked a dude in chat and he said he used it for bastion rating. And that's fine, but never use this item in PvP. Okay, so the only reason that I'm putting this item in E tier instead of F tier is because it has mending, and mending is pretty nice. However, never use this item. It just sucks. Now on to the Fluffy Moccasins. I might be absolutely butchering that name, but they are Mending, Protection 10, Unbreaking 10, leather boots that increase your health pool by 50%, increase your movement speed by 40%, and give you immunity to fall damage. Okay, these boots, they are great. They're great for running around in your base, they're great for building, they're great for doing a lot of things. These were on my list of like the items that I really wanted to pull from this event, and I'm glad I got them. So, they're stylish, they're cool. Fluffy moccasins, definitely an A tier. Honestly, I think I've said all I need to say about them. Also, small little update to the tier list here. I put snowy boots up in D tier instead of E, just because they do not deserve to be on the same tier as Festive Pjs. Festive Pjs just suck. Now we're all done with the armor, let's move on to the weapons. And next up we have the Atarax, which is a Sharpness 15, Unbreaking 10 diamond axe that slows down your enemy. So this item is a little bit weird. So it's pretty decent, don't get me wrong, but in order to be really good it would need to be sharpened. But if you were going to sharpen this item, why wouldn't you sharpen something else that's better than this item? You see where I'm going here? It's kind of stuck in a limbo. So it's not too bad, but it's not too good. So for that, I'm just going to give it a C tier and move on. The Winter's Remorse is a multi-shot Unbreaking 10 crossbow that shoots out snowballs instead of arrows. Okay, so to cover the Winter's Remorse, I actually have a special guest. His name is Micaiah.
This is a multi-shot Unbreaking 10 crossbow that basically works as a machine gun, doesn't do enough damage though.
Thank you, Micaiah. Also, he's completely right. The item doesn't do much damage, and on top of that, it just genuinely kinda sucks in the durability department as well. You'd think Unbreaking 10 would be, like, great, but it really isn't. So, yeah, it's just not that good of an item. So, the Winter's Remorse for me is honestly just really inoffensive. It is a machine gun and it's cool and all, but it doesn't do enough damage to actually be useful, so it's there. Therefore, it's C tier. Next up, we have the Cane, which is a Mending, Sharpness 10, Unbreaking 10 stone hoe that steals hunger from other players. The Cane really becomes useful when you're going up against an item called the Insipid, which stops you from being able to eat. But you don't really need to eat if you're just, eating the other player. All I'm saying. The Sharpness 10 that is the Cane leaves a lot to be desired. You're going to need to sharpen this before you can get any real use out of it. That being said, it's a whole lot like... Okay, investing in the Cane is a whole lot like investing in low-stakes stocks. You're going to have to put a whole lot of money in before you begin to see that money again. What I mean by that is that it's going to take a lot of Dragon Eggs to complete the Cane and make it as powerful as it can be. But it's going to be smooth sailing after that because you're going to have a great advantage over any opponent that fights you. I put the Cane in A tier because it's a great long-term investment. But that being said, not everyone's going to actually want to go through that investment, so A tier it is. And finally we have the Zarlock, which is a Sharpness 20 Unbreaking 10 diamond sword that gives you regeneration 2 whenever you hit anybody. So, the Zarlock, it has basically no faults. When you're PvPing, healing yourself by hitting the enemy is pretty useful. when you're PvEing, hitting a mob and healing, it's also pretty useful. It just, honestly, there's no case where you wouldn't want to have the sword by your side. It's just that broken. On top of that, it makes Mystic Cowl completely useless because all of a sudden you're wearing a leather helmet for godlike regeneration when you can just get it from your sword. Like, come on now, words cannot describe how good the Zarlock is. As you guys can see, my Zarlock's a little bit beat up, and that's because I used mine during the event. And let me tell you, this has been the best event weapon that I've ever seen in my entire life. I absolutely could not die. Like, if a player were to come after me while I had my Zarlock on me, I would just hit the player and run. And if I thought I could actually take the player, I would just kill the player. It's not even difficult. Also, if say a mob came after me and tried to kill me, right? I'd just kill the mob because you know what the mob can't do? Run away and heal. The strategy I have used for years works even better now. I love the Zarlock. Infinite S tier. Best weapon in an event so far, in my opinion. So that's gonna wrap up the video, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like down below and subscribe. And honestly, I didn't cover the ores. That was intentional. I just didn't really care for any of them, and I kind of wanted to just cover the items instead. Because I don't care about auras. They're kind of useless in my opinion. Also, I'm sure if you guys want to see all the auras, just ask anyone in chat and they would be glad to flex them to you. Also, here's a list of all the people who helped me out in this video, so shout out to all of them, and I will see you guys next week. Or the 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 next week.